my spooky children, it's me Ghost Girl, and in today's video I'm going to be doing another makeup tutorial and just picking up where we left off on the subject in my last video. So anyway, in my last video we were talking about the different types of magic that can be used in the world and just exposing some of the darker sides to spirituality and the dangers of the spiritual world. And I was talking about baneful magic and what it is and how it's used. I'm going to be starting off this video by using the All Hours YSL concealer, and this is my favourite concealer. I absolutely love it, and I would recommend it to anyone that is looking for a really good concealer but doesn't know what one to use. But anyway, in the last video I was talking about baneful magic, which is basically like hexes and curses and magic which is used to harm others. Now, in the kind of darker spiritual community, there are people that use baneful magic, and when I say darker, I don't necessarily mean evil, okay? There's a lot of prejudice, and I'm going to say racism because it basically is racism, let's be honest. You're saying that everything that's dark is evil, which isn't the case. But yeah, baneful magic is used by certain magical practitioners to harm other people, and in the practitioner community you only really use baneful magic unless it's justified. So say for example someone murdered your partner, which I know is extreme, but that does happen in the real world, and you know who it is for a fact, and you know this person's done this before and isn't going to stop, or you're just angry because that person the police were refusing to investigate, or maybe you took them to court and they got found not guilty even though it was them and you knew it was them. But say this person was high up and had a high up job in the government, and there was people covering up for them, and you knew that there was no way this person was going to get found guilty. Maybe they bribed some jury members, and so you're like, well, what do I do now? This person has murdered my partner and they basically got away with it. Well, that is, I know this is an extreme example, but it would certainly be justified to hex someone or curse someone or whatever. And then in that case, say you decide to curse them, right, which is a very, if that did actually happen to you, that is a very valid reason to go about that. It's unlikely that if you were to curse this person, it would backfire on you because it's been justified and the magic would work and the person would be cursed. But if you're gonna do a curse and it wasn't justified, like say for example you just were cursing someone because you were jealous of them and you just didn't like them, you're gonna go and do that curse. It's not gonna work because this person hasn't done anything bad. In order for a curse to kind of work, you need to collect a certain amount of bad karma, but if you've not got any really bad karma, then it's not going to work, and then that curse is going to backfire and go on to you because you've basically built up that bad karma by cursing an innocent person, and then you're going to go through hell and going to experience the curse 10 times more than what the curse was that you put on them just because you were a little jealous of someone and decided to hex them. So that's kind of how curses work. During, for example, back a few hundred years ago when in America people were slaves and were subjected to what I can only describe as horrific experiences, and then the slave traders would like murder slaves that didn't do what they wanted, or they would sell them, and some of the magical practitioners would decide, no, we're not letting them get away with this, and then they would get cursed. But the reason the curses worked was because these slave traders had basically made themselves have bad karma by basically beating people up, murdering people and selling people as slaves. If you do bad things, you basically build up bad karma for yourself, and that will either happen years later, like when you're old, or could happen the next day, or it could happen in the next lifetime, or it could happen in the afterlife. The gods might decide to punish you for your deeds by putting you on kind of trial and answering for your crimes and why did you do that, and you'll need to justify what you've done. So that's basically what is known as karmic debt. So these people had kind of built up karmic debt by doing all these awful things, and that is why the curse had worked for them, because basically that is basically part of their bad karma that they've gave up in a way. If they didn't have any bad karma, then the curse wouldn't have worked. So now that I've applied the concealer, I'm going to be applying the Clinique Anti-Blemish Solutions foundation. So now that I've explained to you how baneful magic works, well, the basics anyway, we're going to be talking about Parasite Boy again and getting back to him, I know, finally, because that is what started this series of videos. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'd recommend you watch some of my previous videos. Parasite Boy was basically someone that played about with baneful magic, and he's about to what is known in the magical community as fuck around and find out, which I'll be getting into in a minute. So basically, there are some people in this world that find magic as a game, or they don't take it seriously. I did mention earlier that there are some people that just hex people because they're jealous of someone, or because they don't like someone, or some people just do it because they're evil and they want to feel powerful, and they want to basically just go around hurting people, like they've got sinister intentions. And I don't want to put like a bad rep on like our community, but there is evil people in every community, I'm just going to say that. And Parasite Boy was part of that. So he was part of a group of people that went around hexing and cursing people just for the bans. And you remember what I told you about karma? Well, karma has a habit of coming and biting these kind of people in the ass. And one day they're gonna hex and curse the wrong person, and then they're gonna fuck around and find out. So basically, there are people that have magical bloodlines. So basically, these people are maybe descended from witches or mages or sorcerers, or people that worked with certain spirits, and they made a pact with a spirit, which is basically you do something for the spirit, like leave it an offering, or help someone, or do something that the spirit usually wants you to do. It's not killing someone or anything like that. Most deities, or nice ones anyway, will not ask you to do that. If ever you're in a situation where you're working with a spirit and it asks you to harm people, you tell that spirit no, and if it still tries to convince you to hurt that person, you basically banish the spirit and you do everything to get that spirit out of your life. But basically, sometimes people make pacts with a spirit that they've been working with, and maybe the spirit will want you to protect like a secret site or woodland or whatever, and then in exchange the spirit might protect your bloodline or something like that. There could be all kind of reasons, but there are some people out there that have magical blood, and where they're descended from a spirit or a deity, and or maybe just their ancestors or their spirit guides are really protective of them, and they don't mess around. And it's when you do something really bad to these people, that's shit's gonna come and bite you in the ass. But that is all the kind of magical talk for today. I'm not going to give away all my eggs in one basket. I'm just telling it a little bit at a time because I don't want people getting overwhelmed. But that is my foundation now on. So I'm now going to be applying the blusher, which is the Living Kisses by Technique blusher. I got this out of an advent calendar. And I'm going to be applying it with this brush. So now that the blusher has been applied, I'm going to be applying the Revolution translucent powder. And now that I've applied the powder, I'm going to be applying a shade from the Revolution colour book. When these came out, there was different colours that they came out with. When I went to buy it, there was a red, there was a green, and there was a purple, and there was a grey, and I went and bought the grey. And if I was to ever come across them again, I would probably get the purple because I love purple. Mine's is actually broken. I dropped it one day and it's split in half, so it's meant to look like this, but I broke it and it's split in half. But the shade I'm going to be applying today is this black shade here. The shades don't have names, so I'm just calling it a black shade. So now that the eye makeup has been applied, I'm going to be applying the NYX On The Rise Volume Uplifting Mascara. So now that the mascara has been applied, I'm going to be applying the Revolution Dream Lip Gloss. So now that the lip gloss has been applied, that is my makeup look complete. I hope you enjoyed this video today, my spooky children. If you did, then please like this video, comment down below, share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click on the notification bell icon down below so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. Also, don't forget to follow me on my socials. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Patreon. And if you could follow me on Twitter and become a patron of mine, I'd be very grateful for that. I do tarot card readings on my Patreon. Higher tiers get early access to content 7 to 10 days before the content is then released to the lower tiers. Also, I do private psychic readings as well, which are a mixture of tarot, charm messages from spirit, and scrying. And if you would like a private reading from me, private readings are £30, and you can email me for a reading, and my email is linked in the description down below. So that is everything for me today, my spooky children. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and goodbye.